Hello and welcome again to Not Fake News. Don't forget to share, subscribe, smash that like button. You have the bookstore out of order. It says good luck to the grocery store because coming soon, Amazon Supermarket. I'd like to bid on that toilet paper, please. Please, may I have toilet paper? I can't find any grocery stores around. We have 3 breaking stories to get to, so let's do this. First, turncoats. These top 5 Republicans just stabbed Trump in the back. And Eric Trump just revealed disturbing truth of what the blood on their hands media is doing to their pregnant wife, to his pregnant wife. I don't mean to put blood on your hand to, you know what? I just call the mainstream media enemies of the American people, and they have blood on their hands, so that's separate. Let me just read this normally. Eric Trump just revealed disturbing truth of what media is doing to his pregnant wife. And when this top Dem said cruel thing about Scalise, karma came back swinging like it always does. Turncoats, let's start with that. What'd they do, these 5 Republicans? You have most likely heard a lot of ruckus lately about the Senate's version of the GOP healthcare bill. Of course, the liberals hate it because it represents the death blow to their precious Obamacare. But a growing number of Republicans are also skeptical as well. A 5th senator has now joined 4 others in announcing that he cannot support the current version of the bill that has come out in the Senate, and which is something that they are about to vote on very, very soon. Dean Heller, senator from Nevada, now says, I cannot support legislation that takes away insurance from millions of Americans and hundreds of thousands of Nevadians. Make no mistake, the Affordable Care Act does need fixing, but the bill in front of us today doesn't make those fixes. Check out this very spirited debate, and caution people, it's spirited.
For it, but the idea of transforming Medicaid into a block grant is something every conservative, certainly the 4 that are on that list, should be very excited about.
Paul?
Yeah,
Not to mean that.
They should be excited. No, the president's exactly right. It's not just mean, it's savage. I mean, what it is a tax cut bill. Let's call it what it is. It's a tax cut bill. It cuts taxes $1 trillion for the wealthiest people in America. Then, to pay for that, or pay for some of it, they're going to kick millions of people off of Medicaid. Medicaid, 2/3 of everyone in nursing homes in America is paid for by Medicaid. 49% of all the births in America is paid for by Medicaid. 60% of all special need kids.
The cuts that are being taken away from Medicaid are not people in nursing homes, not special need kids, not people who really need it. The cuts and the removals are able-bodied people who were put on because they couldn't afford or get Obamacare. So they were dumped onto Medicaid. So it expanded. All Trump is doing is taking away those people who were dumped on there, who were able-bodied, and putting them in the private sector. This way, Medicaid doesn't need all that money put into it, and it can be put into better places. The able-bodied people want their own Medicaid insurance. They don't need to be on Medicaid. Medicaid is specifically for people who are in need and can't get anything else.
Get help from Medicaid. So this is the Republicans' dream. This is why they become Republicans, to cut taxes for the Koch brothers and kick some kid out of his wheelchair. That's the whole point of being a Republican, right?
You very well know that the cuts that are going to be happening to the Medicaid program are not the disabled or not the elderly. They're in the basic Medicaid program. The cuts that are being talked about are to take the people who were added by Obamacare, who are able-bodied, many cases working people who couldn't find reasonable prices on the Obama exchanges, and so they were dumped into the Medicaid program, which is where all the expansion took place. So what we've done is take those people, move them back out, put them back into the private markets. They shouldn't be on Medicaid in the first place. Medicaid should be for the exact people that you talked about. It should be for the elderly, it should be for the disabled, and it should be for folks who are single moms who are having children and are poor. That's what Medicaid was designed to do. It should do that. and those who are able-bodied, the working poor, should not be on Medicaid. We should have a better system in the private market, and that's what this bill designs.
Those folks have been paying into Medicaid all of their lives, and to give a tax break to the Koch brothers, we're going to kick them off. This is savage. To me, it's the epitome of modern republicanism, and the president, for once, committed the sin of candor. It is mean. It's why only 16% of Americans like this idea, and that's going to fall, Rick, as these guys go home and women go home and have their town hall meetings, and they are confronted by the people who they're going to be kicking out of nursing homes and off of their health care. They paid for by
this point, be very clear. We're not taking anybody out of nursing home, number one. Number two, you said people have been paying into Medicaid. Taxpayers don't pay into Medicaid. They pay into Medicare. They don't pay into Medicaid. So let's just set the record straight. And again, the focus of this is to make Medicaid for what it's supposed to be, which is actually exactly the people that you talked about, and take the working poor and put them into the private sector where they belong.
So if you're in a nursing home, we're going to probably give them one of those coal jobs that Trump says we're going to bring back, right? Or take that child who's on an inhaler for her asthma. We're going to put her to work in a factory. This is...
Do you see the way he just ignored everything he just said and turned it around again? This guy is a fake Republican. He's a fake Republican.
Taking the most vulnerable people, punishing them in order to give a tax for the privilege. By the way, like one of the taxes they cut, Aaron, you come out of the financial reporting area, is an investor tax. It's a 3.8% tax that the wealthiest investors pay. This was put on the books 7 years ago. How has the Dow done in those last 7 years? It has skyrocketed. It hasn't hurt the investor class. By the way, we don't want to hurt the investor class. We love the investor class. But why did they need a tax break when stocks are going up and have been going up for years? Thank you, Barack Obama. And in order, we're going to give them a tax cut in order
it's an interesting point, right? You would argue if the taxes would have gone down. That is an interesting point to make. Rick, can I ask you the bottom line, though, from your perspective? Are they going to get the votes? Because some of these people, as I think Ryan pointed out, and I just want to make this point, they're no's, but they're not really no's. Like, Ted Cruz is not going to say, this is my last best chance to replace Obamacare and not vote for it, even though he's technically on the list right now. So who knows? But I'll say, take him off, right? They can afford to lose two. If you give them Heller as one, you're sure they're not going to lose one more vote?
I suspect that the ones that they're most concerned about are Senator Collins and Senator Murkowski. And,
right. They're concerned about Planned Parenthood and Medicaid.
Right. The other four are four that in the end should be voting for this bill if they can. I don't know what particular provisions, but I wouldn't think that they want to go back to their home states. Ted Cruz is up for re-election this year and talk about how they weren't able to deliver on the central premise of the 2016 campaign.
All right. Thank you both very much. And it certainly was the central promise for Mr. Cruz. Thank you. And next, President Trump pushing for a border wall. And he's got a new idea. He's very proud of it. And guess what? We've got the facts to test it out.
Yeah, well, guess what? You're like 8 days late. Did that 10 days ago, sister. One of the big concerns is how much more insurance could cost under the Senate's new plan for older Americans. And I'm talking about Americans over 50 years old. Some say the premiums could climb up to 5 times what they are now. If you're not over 50, I bet your parents are. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine and some others also have concerns. Of particular concern is the American will be able to afford coverage for mental illness and substance abuse treatment as well as maternity care. This is questionable at best under the Senate's current version of its bill. To pass the bill, the Senate needs 50 votes. There are 52 Republicans in the Senate, so the 5 Republicans bowing out, the math simply does not work out to pass the bill. It's pretty clear that no Democrats will support the bill as it stands. Please share and comment your thoughts below. Next story. Eric Trump just revealed disturbing truth of what the media is doing to his pregnant wife. Like many Americans, Eric Trump is sick and tired of the constant stream of personal attacks on the president and the Trump family from Democrats, the media, and celebrities. These attacks are particularly galling in the light of the recent targeting shooting of a Republican during a congressional baseball practice, which left Representative Steve Scalise gravely injured. Trump's second oldest son hit back at all the haters in the interview on Fox that will air Sunday morning, saying, "My wife, Laura, is 7 months pregnant. If you saw some of the comments she receives from people, I can't even say them on the air, they're so ghastly. They're willing to attack a pregnant lady. They're willing to attack an 11-year-old boy, my brother Barron, who's in the White House at a fragile age. They will go after my half-sister Tiffany, who's in law school, 22 years old. There are no borders for these people. Eric's wife, Laura Trump, also has been speaking out on Hannity Friday, especially after Johnny Depp's joke on Thursday about assassinating President Trump, saying it really does not speak to a bigger it really does speak to a bigger problem, which is this sort of thing that has been normalized. We see what happened with Shakespeare in the Park. We see Kathy Griffin. We see late-night host Madonna going on to blow up the White House. It's out of control, and it's really sad. As a member, a family member, as an American, it's incredibly disappointing. These celebrities prove how out of touch they really are with the jokes, when they tell these jokes in quotes, as if millions of Americans hadn't voted for President Trump. We can only hope that they start realizing no one finds him funny at all. And we don't think it's a joke. We know they don't think it's a joke. He had a reason for saying that. He was told to say that. Someone ordered Johnny Depp to say that. That's what I know. That's what I think. When this top Dem said cruel thing about Scalise, karma came back swinging, just like it always will. And it already has for Johnny Depp. Let me tell you something about Johnny Depp. I saw a video the other day. I didn't do the video, but I saw it, and it was a videotape his wife made the day after he said that about Trump. He was really pissed off, and at the response that he was getting, and maybe even losing of jobs and threats of losing of jobs. He seemed really pissed. He's in his kitchen. He's slamming the cabinet shut. Really, you can tell he's very angry. Slamming it again. Quiet. He's really quiet. He's like mumbling some stuff, slamming his thing, and his wife's like, "What's the matter? Are we fighting today? I didn't know we were angry at each other." And she's like, "Is something wrong?" He's like, "Is something wrong?" Like, you know what's going on with what just happened? Something wrong. Grabs it, and he's like, it's the morning, and he's like 80% done with a bottle of red wine that he has on the table there. 80% done. And he goes and he grabs his bottle again, and she says, did you drink all this morning? And he's, nah. And that's karma. That's the beginning of his karma. But senior Nebraska Democratic Party official Phil Montag just got fired from his job within the party on Friday in response to his vile statement about Representative Steve Scalise. His words, recorded at a private residence in Obama, seem to condone the targeted attack on Republican lawmakers that left Representative Steve Scalise critically injured. Here are his disgusting comments. His whole job is to get people, convince Republicans to effing kick people off effing healthcare. I'm glad he got shot. I wish he was effing dead. That's the all-loving, tolerant left for you, folks. Montag claims that the recording had been edited and he never wished for Representative Scalise's death, saying, "Like every decent American, I am saddened and horrified by the shooting of Congressman Scalise. I do not wish for his death. I am hopeful that the entirety of the original unedited recorded will emerge so we can get to the truth of the matter." Okay, whatever you tell yourself, buddy. Thankfully, Montag faced consequences for his cruel statement, and he's not the only one. Chairwoman for the Nebraska Democratic Party, Black Caucus Chelsea Gentry Tipton, was also asked to step down after saying this in a Facebook post about the shooting. Watching the congressman crying on live TV about the trauma they experienced is so funny, though. However, Gentry Tipton declined to leave her elected position and later said, "I don't condone or find the humor in what happened." The comments from the D's Democrats are truly outrageous. You know, if these parties were reversed, the media would be howling from the rooftops. But since they're not, they're asking you to. We're asking you to share this 50,000 times to get the word out. That's it, folks, for this episode. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, smash that like button. And remember, it's changed. When you subscribe, you have to hit the bell also, or it doesn't work. So you hit subscribe, then you hit the little bell icon next to it, and then you're in. You are in the resistance.